Hi everyone, Brent Patten here, Chief Services Officer for TTEK. TTEK's very happy today to be announcing a new initiative called Border Beats. It's a project where we'll be talking to several of our leading customs expert consultants who make up our bench of our service division. We'll be talking to these consultants about various topics important to customs administrations in their efforts to modernize their processes and organizations. Today, we're very happy to have our first episode of Border Beats with one of our most trusted consultants, one of our senior advisory board members, and one of the world's leading experts in a variety of customs modernization topics. Mr. Gareth Lewis is joining us today to talk about a subject called Global Networked Customs. Gareth has been operating in this space of customs modernization for over 40 years as a leader with Australia Customs Service, a senior technical advisor at the World Customs Organization, and a customs consultant who's worked around the globe with administrations and other clients, helping them with their modernization efforts. We're very happy to have Gareth here today, and with that, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that introduction. That was very kind of you, Brent. So yes, my name is Gareth Lewis. Here I am in Adelaide, Australia, where it's the morning. And I'm going to talk about GNC. Now, that's Globally Networked Customs, as you know. Without acronyms, there wouldn't be customs. So I'm introducing yet another. Information is something in the customs realm that always makes me think of that saying, money makes the world go around. In our world, it's information makes the world go around, and the better quality information that you can have, the better that world will go around. That's not a theme that I need to remind anyone listening, I don't think. I think that's well established. Globally Networked Customs, GNC, at its core is the exchange of information between customs administrations. It's nothing more. The complexity, the devil is in the detail, as they say. We've had for many years administrative arrangements for specific examples of enforcement where countries have the so-called customs mutual administrative arrangements allowing on a case-by-case basis special cooperation and collaboration between customs administrations. GNC follows a similar theme, but it's based on the systematic exchange of commercial information, the types of information that we pick up from goods declarations, from cargo declarations, transit declarations, all of that trade data that is the basis of international balance of trade figures from which a whole range of important economic decisions are made. A lot of people gave that a lot of thought and decided, why isn't it allowed that customs administrations exchange this information on a systematic basis as a means of enabling earlier intervention, earlier assessment of the movement of goods. Now, that all sounds easy. I said the devil is in the detail, and on that basis, a task force was formed at the WCO, and it went and said, right, how are we going to systematically address this? Came up with a series of protocols, standards, and guidelines on the legal issues, the technical issues, the administrative issues, and the governance issues, and said, if countries adopt this approach, then the basis is there for that level of trust to be obtained and for country A and country B to exchange details at export, enabling assessment at import, thus ideally making the world more efficient and making the world more secure. That, in essence, was GNC.
Thanks, Gareth. Interesting. I've heard in the past, I've heard some people refer to GNC as something similar to the SWIFT system that the banking industry has in place to oversee international transfer of information. Is that an accurate comparison to what we're talking about with GNC for customs environment?
It's a very searching question. It raises, in one sense, it allows me to talk about some of the strengths. In another sense, it allows me to address some of the concerns. For those people who aren't sure about SWIFT, it allows you to use an ATM in any country because the banks have given each other a degree of trust. In other words, they've given each other indemnity through a great big organization called SWIFT with a great big computer based in Brussels, where all of the banking information, all of the transactions are maintained. And you can imagine the security around that. At the time, that proposal was indeed put forward that GNC could be seen as the SWIFT for customs. I was talking about trust and the importance of trust in information. The logic was that if an independent third party and a trusted third party such as the WCO was able to become a SWIFT and have servers, also coincidentally placed in Brussels, that all of that export information I was talking about could be held in those servers, could be appropriately processed, and then you wouldn't have, in theory, the sorts of concerns that countries did have. Can I trust this country that's sending me this information? Am I going to allow goods to be admitted, not even just admitted, but cleared, entering the home consumption of my country based on the risk assessment in a third country? So the logic was, no, if we have a SWIFT for customs, then we won't have that problem. So that was the strength. The concern was pretty simple. Many members of the WCO, and I think probably people listening to this this video as well, would understand that do we really want to have that degree of power and authority and resources going to the WCO? The WCO is a sounding board. It's a place that administers rules. It administers standards. That's a far cry from creating a gigantic IT capability, processing a huge amount of data. I would imagine it would be more than even SWIFT. And a lot of the members balked at that idea. So whilst it's a great idea, the technical and practical considerations worked against it. So GNC, as conceptualized, and as you'll find on the WCO website, is a light touch. That was the term that was used. As I said, it's a light touch based on protocols, standards, and guidelines. In theory, if we all follow, we'll be able to exchange that information and the benefits can be gleaned.
Excellent. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for the insight into an important topic. And I encourage all of our potential clients and people watching to stay tuned for the next episode of Border Beats. And we'll have another international customs expert talking to us about an important subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you.